What's going on, guys? Nick Lesagor here.
Brandon Delakia.
Exit 12 Brewery.
In the house.
In the house. And we are here after a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, hiatus. Yeah, a little vacation from you guys. Not a vacation from life. Doing a lot of yard work.
Mm-hmm. And I had an actual vacation from life. Mm-hmm. I went to New Orleans, as you could see in the footage before. I went to New Orleans with my wife for a wedding. One of her best friends got married. Congratulations to Megan and Drew.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
On
big
their
deal.
nuptials.
Big deal.
The first video was a French Quarter Festival, which is one of New Orleans' only free festivals. So I got awesome footage of that. You may be able to spot my wife. She's the pregnant one. And the second video is after the wedding. They did what's called a second line in New Orleans. After the wedding, they hire a band and everybody marches down the street. It's a citywide thing that you can do in New Orleans. The police department has its own parades department. And for $300 something, you can hire a police detail, you can hire a band, and they will map out a parade route for you.
Not bad at all.
So that was a good time. We had a blast. But now we're back, and we are here with a beer review. I'm really excited to try this beer. It's from Mike Dean, from the Dean's List.
Yep.
Had one of the best, if not probably the best beer in the dual grain, triple play, double IPA hop challenge that we did. Mm-hmm. And this is his Brut IPA called Hop Brutality. So he has said in many of his videos that this is the best beer that he's ever done. 6.8% ABV, 29 IBUs. We are so excited to get into this.
Yeah, very excited. So this would be my first Brut IPA. Have you had a Brut IPA before?
I've had one Brut IPA.
Okay, so you have something to go against, but I know it's supposed to be extra dry, extra crisp, a good level of bitterness in there. So I do know what to expect, hopefully.
Much like champagne, it's supposed to be very champagne-y.
Yeah,
maybe like a...
Pagna.
Maybe like a hoppier champagne.
Yeah. I would assume it is hoppier than champagne.
Like a hoppy champagne. Yeah. All the kids in the pool, because we know that he utilizes the Blickman beer gun.
Yep. Taking
a look at it. I mean, this thing looks unbelievable.
Yeah. Crystal clear.
Crystal clear. Mike, I don't know how you got that clearness, brother, but that thing looks awesome. And it's very champagne-like in the sense that the bubbles are they're tiny bubbles and they're just rushing up it.
Absolutely.
Fascinatingly enough, mine is, my bubbles look are much quicker than yours.
Did you do a rustle? I don't rustle. Did you rustle?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Natural rustle.
Whatever the case.
Yeah, great color. Very light, almost, like a Pilsner yellow.
Yeah, for sure. Got about a quarter finger head.
Yeah, little lacing.
Definitely looks well carbonated.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Let's get a...
nose on it?
Sure. Let's do it. Oh, that's fun. That is fun. That champagne yeast.
Yeah.
If you use champagne yeast, I'm sure that's one of the aspects of a brut. That comes through. It's very, very... You can smell the dryness in a way in the beer.
Sure, yeah, I can see that. The yeast is definitely coming through. It's very crisp. It has a subtle lemongrass I'm getting.
Yeah. That's great. Grapefruit, like a real nice grapefruit to it.
Yeah, and like you said, it smells even a little like a champagne. It's got that little tinge to it.
But it's definitely got those minor yeasty beer effects on it as well.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely champagne-y. Yeah. But if I were to smell champagne next to this, I would be able to tell that this was beer because I think whether it's the yeast or the malt bill, I think the hops as well, that grapefruity, that really nice lemon, that orange rind almost.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of like grape in there, like like a grape pith maybe.
It kind of teeters on like not farmhouse, but like a saison almost. It's got this really strong like maybe orangey flavor that I may be thinking saison with.
Yeah.
But again, very clear, Mike. This looks amazing.
Absolutely.
Let's sip on it.
Sip on it. Cheers.
Salute. Mike, cheers.
Mike. Okay. So it's very dry on the front end, but it has a very nice fruit kick at the end, which I really like. It ends with a little bit of that orange or grapefruit, a little bit of that hot flavor is coming through at the end, which is really nice. The subtlety when it kicks in to how it finishes is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's very dry. And I think in terms of the style, you nailed that.
Yeah, I was reading a little bit about this. There was a Brewlosophy podcast about this style, and I know there's different, not yeasts. Crap, we're gonna put it in here because I can't remember it. But there's adjuncts you can put in to really drive that flavor, that dryness into the beer, and really attenuate down. I can't believe I can't remember it. I'm sick, so I'm sorry.
Sorry. So
it was called
thing,
Ultra Firm, maybe, or is that? I can't remember.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll put
it really sits on the palate as well. I think that in terms of the flavor, it lingers quite a bit on the palate, and that's really, I think that's probably pretty classic of the style. It sounds like, because that's kind of what champagne does. Excuse me. Very you definitely nailed the carbonation.
Yeah.
I think it's, again, like he said, I think it's got the fruity aspects on it. I like the grapefruit. I think it hits you in the face in a way. When I took my first sip, it really is like, it's there and it's letting you know.
Yeah. As far as mouthfeel, it's pretty slick on the palate. Per the style, it's not supposed to linger, so it has that, that viscosity that just sort of like, slicks down the back of your throat, which is pretty good. So yeah, I think you nailed the mouthfeel as well.
Yeah, I think overall this is a really good beer, Mike. It doesn't, it's got some legs on it for sure. It really has me thinking about a way that we could experiment with a Brut IPA.
Yeah, definitely. Down here, up here, wherever we are, New England, we love our, New England style IPAs, fruity, the mouthfeel and all that. But we've really been wanting to get more into the traditional IPAs, the more dry and bitter. And this actually isn't very bitter at all.
No, but it's extremely champagne-y, for sure.
Yeah.
Which, for the style.
Yeah, Mike, let us know what yeast you use, because I'd be really interested.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to finish this off. Tonight's the NFL draft.
Yep.
The Bruins, game 1 against the Blue Jackets.
Yep.
So we're going to finish this off, and we're going to come back with Mike's Brown Ale.
Cheers.
And by the magic of video editing, we're back.
Crazy.
Insane. What's even more insane is we have a second beer to do for Mike Dean. He sent me 4 of them, so we'll do 2 tonight because it is, however, only Thursday.
Yeah.
Not Friday.
Yeah.
This is his Old Town Brown. Now, what I know about this beer is that he entered it last year's NHC as a sour, and then he came back this year and just brewed it as a brown because the judges told him that his base was awesome, pretty much. So, I don't know if you want to read that.
Sure. It's an Old Town Brown, like Old Town Road. You know that?
No.
You're not with the kids, man.
I'm not.
Okay. This American brown ale gains some slightly roast characters from dark crystal and brown malts. Very light bittering and aroma hops make for a very complex character. Enjoy. The Dean's List.
You want to open it? I'm usually the one that opens
Sure.
beers on this channel.
Do it.
We'll let old Brandon do it a little bit. What I love about brown ales, and we do one with apple cinnamon, so I'm really excited to try this. I'm a big brown ale fan. Treehouse in Monson does one. What I really like about brown ales is they're perfect for fall weather, perfect for sitting in front of a fire, whether it's inside or a campfire outside. Depthy brown, like nutty and really, really flavorful. So I'm really excited to try this beer.
We're going full tilt.
Go full tilt. Kegging bottling from the keg. A little bit lighter in terms of color than I thought.
Sure.
Check it out. It's
like a light coffee, even like a nutmeg.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I can see that. I like that. It's got some floaties. Got some stuff floating around in it. Probably yeast. Really nicely carbonated.
Yep.
The head went down fairly quick. We'll see if I can rustle up some bubbles here.
When you put it up to the light, it has a nice orange hue, which is really nice. So it's definitely clear. There's no particulates in there at all.
Yeah, I think
besides a little bit you were talking about.
Nailed it. When you do rustle up some bubbles, the head is like a really like khaki brown almost. A really beautiful head on it.
Mm-hmm. You know a lot about khaki, son.
That's right. Dad jeans. So it's also got really nice, like you mentioned the orange.
Yeah.
Some like really nice red, like a darker copper almost.
Yep. And I really like that with dark beers. I think, even though they're a dark beer and people are like, well, you're just supposed to be dark and, viscous and you're not supposed to see through it. I like when you can sort of see those colors in the light and it sort of, comes up and you got those different shades in there.
For sure. And that's something that Mike Dean has always excelled in.
Yep.
You want to...
What's your noun?
Get a sniffy?
Okay, we'll do it.
All right. So depthy for one,
Yeah.
definitely depthy. Toffee, I get
Definitely.
chestnut almost.
Oh, that's a really good one. I didn't even think of it. There was something I was smelling that I couldn't put my finger on. I think that's exactly what it is. Is chestnut. That's really good. Toffee is definitely there. A little caramel.
Caramel definitely. I get graham cracker, like this really. It could be biscuit. I don't know if you use biscuit malt in this, but I get some like crackery, maybe like a graham cracker sweetness type aspect, which also could be the caramel.
Yeah.
Pine. I get some on the back hit. I get like a pininess, almost like not a West Coast IPA pininess, but kind of like a dull pine. Like maybe you've had the pine air freshener in your car for a little bit too long, so it's starting to trail off. It's like in the middle of trailing off.
Yeah, it's definitely a brown. Like you said, those caramel, little chocolate there, the smells coming out really predominantly. But it's really like toffee and like I said, like you said, chestnut.
And also gingerbread. Like I feel like this would be a Mike, I would love to get some more bottles of this, provided I like it. It would be great. It would be great, like a great Christmas beer. Just the smells, like I just said, like pine and the graham cracker and the, I just think Pillsbury Doughboy for some reason. Is that weird? It's just
not. Yeah,
I know, but
the correlation between gingerbread and Pillsbury Doughboy is not like it's not a straight line.
I was thinking gingerbread.
But you got there, man. We're here now.
I'm really pumped to take a sip of this.
Yeah.
So
cheers, Mike.
Once more, Mike. Thank you for the beers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Salute.
God damn. Oh, that is great.
Taking the Lord's name in vain.
That is first off layered. I love how layered it is. You got that classic brown aspect that comes through in the beginning, but then in the middle to end, this awesome chestnutty, roasty, and then like a sweetness on the back end, almost like a fruity sweetness, dare I say?
And I'm getting a little bit on the back end of like almost like a iced coffee. Like I know that it doesn't have coffee. Maybe it does have coffee in it, but I don't think it does. But I get a little bit of that at the end. Bitterness is very low. I'm not getting much bitterness at all.
Not to cut you off, but I think you nailed the coffee aspect. I think you're getting the bitterness. Like the back end bitterness. You know how
Very possible.
you know how you get like a French roast coffee that's really strong.
Yeah.
It tends to be very bitter because of the strength.
Yeah.
That's how I perceive it. So when you said coffee at first, I was like, I don't think so. And then when I took a sip, that back end sweetness is almost like a coffee type flavor because of
Yeah.
the bitterness.
Yeah, front end, a lot of toffee.
Caramel.
Yeah, a little caramel in there. Yeah, it's like a toasty, brown ale. You really nailed what you're going for.
This is so good. This would be. I'm having some friends over this weekend doing some work to the basement. We're gonna have a bonfire, a fire after in my fire pit. This would be absolutely divine.
Sick brag, dude. You got a fire pit?
Nailed it. This would be perfect for that scenario. I mean, this is still, like I said, very carbonated. I think it's can't compare that in the Brut, but this beer is phenomenal, especially for the cooler months, whether it's Christmas, or outside, like I said, by the fire pit.
Yeah. I think you took the suggestions from NHC. You put him in this year. I don't know if do you know if he entered this beer?
I think he did. I'm not sure if it placed or not, and it should have.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think you took the good suggestions and then took the bad feedback if there was any and made something very good, phenomenal.
Yeah, and in the words of the great S.J. Poor, when he reviewed our Belgian Dark Strong, I'm not just blowing smoke. This beer is extremely solid.
Yeah.
I would probably put this in the mid 40s for BJCP. I mean, this thing is unreal. I mean, this
Very
is
good. It's
very, very good.
Yeah.
So, Mike, thank you again.
Yeah, nailed them both.
We'll review the other two beers that you sent at some point. It's a Thursday, so don't want to get too twisted. We got some other beers to review as well. Plato's Gravity, I see you.
Yep. Shout out.
And have a great weekend.
You too.
Cheers.
Cheers.